What's going on off the record, fans? I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having a great day. Let's get into it. Today I want to talk about Yungblud and Ozzy Osbourne. The rock legend passes on his legacy to Yungblud. So, welcome back to this show. Tonight we're going to talk about the story of Yungblud and Ozzy Osbourne and how their relationship has become one of rock's most emotional and symbolic bonds that I've seen in a long time. This isn't just fan worship. There's real legacy being passed down with this story. Yungblud is carrying the torch in a big way, and whether you're into his music or not, he's putting out some cool stuff. So let's talk about who Yungblud is and where he's at now. Youngblood's real name is Dominic Harrison, also goes by Dom. He is a British artist who's been he's never really been easy to pin down. From one moment he's very punk, the next he's alt rock. He really does a very genre bending music with his concerts. He's really all over the place. In 2025, he released his fourth studio album called Idols in June. It was June 20th that he released that. Great album. If you haven't checked that out, amazing. He did a ton of music videos. He's done live videos of the performances as well. He told M Magazine he really wanted to show his songwriting in a more mature light, more analog, more orchestral, more timeless, quote unquote, is what he said. Themes on Idols include self-reclamation, identity, masculinity, and his love for rock history as well. So let's talk about Youngblood's USA and international success that he's had in the last couple of years. He's been on a huge world tour in 2025 called the Idols World Tour. He announced 24 dates in North America, and the North America leg for 2026. And he's hitting some of the biggest venues yet in arenas. He's even playing Red Rocks, which we haven't released the episode yet, but I had the sound manager, front of house manager for Creed on, and one of the questions I asked him was, how's Red Rocks? We'll get into his answer. Definitely on my bucket list of places to see a concert. But on the flip side, he recently canceled the remaining 2025 tour dates, including the U.S. tour dates, due to health concerns. Apparently, his voice and his blood test raised some alarms. I don't know. I don't know if he's a drinker, if he does drugs. That stuff does affect your physical body, especially when you're touring. I know Taylor Swift talked about this, the Eras tour. She was playing for 2.5 to 3 hours a night. That's like being in the gym for 2.5 to 3 hours. So if you're doing drugs that run down your body, make you tired, does whatever, I can see how that affects. But I don't know. I also know it's really tiring to go on tour sometimes. Day in, day out, every day singing, performing. So he's already promising to make it up to the fans, though, and will return with some dates planned in the future. So let's get into the Ozzy Osbourne connection with Yungblud. Yungblud and Ozzy's friendship goes deeper than just admiration. In 2022, during the filming of Youngblood's song The Funeral, the video he did for that, Ozzy gave him a gold cross necklace, telling him, I hope this brings you luck. Let's fast forward to July 5th of 2025. Ozzy's final Black Sabbath concert at Villa Park. Yungblud gifted Ozzy a custom cross necklace made of sterling silver and gold with diamonds. Let's show that little nugget right there. That's them together. This was backstage at that concert. Walked up to him and said, "Hey, wait, you remember giving me this necklace?" And he had it on his neck. He goes, "I wear it every day. I think of you every day." It was a really touching moment. It was cool to see them talk. I mean, Yungblud could absolutely be his grandson, probably. I'm pretty sure Ozzy's son now, Jack, I think his name is 41, 42. I think Youngblood's 25. He's a young guy. I could be wrong. But so in that moment, Yungblud said, "Thank you, man, for everything. It's an honor." And I think that's how much they've really connected together. They kind of feel like very similar artists. Yungblud came into the United States scene as a young punk, just like Black Sabbath came to the scene way back as metalheads, back when that music was metal. We now call it rock and roll. Definitely metal influence. But so the necklace, the legacy, let's get into that. That original cross Ozzy gave Yungblud is not just jewelry. Yungblud calls it the most precious thing I own. That's in quotes, the most precious thing I own. And then during the 2025 VMAs, Yungblud performed a tribute to Ozzy wearing the cross on stage as well. After Ozzy passed in July of 2025, Yungblud made a vow he'll perform Black Sabbath's song Changes every night for the rest of his life as a tribute, is what he said. Which, if you haven't listened to that cover by him, it's beautiful. His cover of Changes during Ozzy's final show has since been released as a charity single, with proceeds going to children's hospice and Parkinson's-related causes. So if that's something that's near and dear to your heart, go buy that single. It's a great song. It's a great cover. He killed it. I'm not gonna lie. I was binging it and listening to it a lot when I heard it. So let's get into how Yungblud's music has evolved over the years. Compared to his early work, pop punk, alt, rap vibes, kind of, Idols feels like a more mature turning point for him. More classic rock influence, more orchestral, more emotionally depth. Has a lot of more emotional depths to the CD. It definitely sounds more like an adult's compilation of amazing songs. In interviews, he said he moved away from sampling and the more digital production, leaning into the analog instruments and working with his band, piano, guitar, and even an orchestra for that album. He credits his growth to a desire to make something truly timeless and to show he's more than just a moment, that he can be a lasting rock figure. That album also, I know he changed his vocal styling for a lot of the songs. It's a lot more of an aggressive, I would say, almost like, I'm not saying it sounds like an 80s rock album, but the way his vocals attack are a little bit more of that, like Guns N' Roses, Def Leppard, like really in your face, really, it's really beautifully done. But I know he sought after a vocal coach to make sure he wasn't shredding his voice with how aggressively he's singing a lot more. He's singing, it's a lot more of rock. It's a really good album. So the similarities between Ozzy and Yungblud crossing over from the UK to the US. So both artists started in the UK and became massively influential in the US. So Ozzy via Black Sabbath, Yungblud via his alt-rock, punk influence sounds, and his ability to connect with the younger audiences. There's that symbiotic passing of the torch. Ozzy giving Yungblud the cross, Yungblud returning in a heartfelt way with his jewelry to him, and vowing to keep Ozzy's songs alive in his concerts. Yungblud sees Ozzy not just as a hero, but as a mentor, as his North Star, as he said, helping him navigate not just music, but mental health, identity, and legacy. I mean, these guys really do have a very similar history on how they got big in music and where they went. And I would definitely say Yungblud is very influenced by Ozzy Osbourne. You can hear it in his music. You can definitely hear it in the new stuff. The new album almost reminds me of, from a production standpoint, when My Chemical Romance moved to the album with Helena and made the Black Parade. Again, I'm not saying the album was as good as the Black Parade. Somebody will fight me over that, but it has that production feel. It feels very much like we thought about this. We really put our time into it. We really put some effort, and it's paying off for him. So, in the recent news in the last 3 years, Yungblud launched a creative venue / community space in Denmark Street, London, called Brat. Beautifully romanticized, accidentally traumatized. It's a part fan club, part store, part live space. Apparently, that's interesting when you start hearing rock stars buying venues and getting into local spots. It's pretty cool. So, also, if you haven't been paying attention to the news, Yungblud's working on a collaborative EP with Aerosmith. Now, if you watched the last concert that Ozzy Osbourne did, Aerosmith was there. I mean, every band you can think of from the 80s that were huge rockers were there. It was a cool concert to watch. Again, heartbreakingly, his health was prioritized this year, and he ended up canceling the rest of his tours that he had in the United States. So you won't be able to see him until probably 2026 in the United States, maybe sooner in Europe or in the UK. So to conclude everything, let's look at Yungblud today. We're not seeing the same young rock star that we did then. We're seeing some of this really carrying forward a legacy. His friendship to Ozzy Osbourne and the cross necklace, his vow to play Changes every night, and it all speaks to the passing of the torch that Ozzy gave him. And at the same time, Yungblud's evolving in his own right as well. He's writing deeper songs, He's bigger with ambitions, and his strong message to make music is what really matters to him. He's bridging generations with Sabbath and Idols. I'm sure there are probably Black Sabbath fans that are older that are listening to his stuff now. But now you also have kids that are around his age, and they're young in their 20s or maybe even teenagers checking out who Black Sabbath is thanks to him. So if you want to support the channel, make sure you comment down below, like, share. I don't know who died, Cindy, but thank you for watching. If you have any bands you'd like me to cover in the Philadelphia area, especially local bands, I do love giving a shout out and some legs to some young bands. Comment down below, message me on Gmail. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day, and